capture part of your reputation. So basically what authentication is, it's like a driver's license for your marketing program. It doesn't really say if you're a good driver or a bad driver. So in this case, whether you're a good mailer or a bad mailer, but it just says, hey, you know what, my IP address is designated to send on behalf of this domain. The reason why is because part of the specs when creating email addresses way back in the day, they made it easy for the from address that we see in our inbox to be spoofed. And this is the key concept between things like phishing and spoofing, so they can actually spoof your brand. A lot of you have probably seen fake emails coming from like PayPal. That is an example of spoofing. One way to combat that is to sign your emails with SPF, Sender ID, or DKIM, which is Domain Keys Identified Mail, which is a co-developed by Yahoo and Cisco. So when you do that, it tells the ISP that, hey, I am the actual sender. You can trust who I am. So now I want to take just a second to pause and do another poll here to see how you guys actually try to resolve your deliverability issues. So one, maybe you do it yourself and you just contact your internet service provider every time that you see an issue. Maybe you are, if you're using an ESP, you call up, you have a contact at your email service provider that you specifically have handling all of your deliverability issues. If you're mailing in-house, you may actually contact someone in your IT department every time you run into a problem. Or maybe it's something that you do yourself and you perform regular list hygiene to avoid these deliverability issues. Or you know what, maybe you've never even ran into any problems, and or maybe you have and you just haven't tried to resolve because you don't know where to even begin. And there's probably lots of other situations outside of that that you haven't run into. So if that's the case, please select Other. So again, if you're using an internet service provider, or if you're doing it yourself, you pick up the phone and call them, select that. You can check all that apply as well. So it looks like we have quite a number of responses here, so I'm going to go ahead and look at the results. And it looks like good news is a lot of you perform regular list hygiene to try to avoid these deliverability issues at all costs. It looks like a lot of you too are relying on your email service provider, your ESP, to resolve those issues for you. And some of you are brave enough to even call up the internet service provider to try to resolve them on yourself. So I applaud you for doing that because I know how difficult that can be at times. So that brings me to the issue with the email service provider. So those of you that use an ESP